Contenders. Previously on Contenders, the JW Marriott series. 8 contenders started the series with one goal in mind.
In a hotel in London.
Your goal is to become the general manager of the hotel.
I'd love to try to serve others.
Their first challenge, the quiz.
South Africa.
Rolling Stone.
Yes, the Griffin.
Sorry.
Halloween. Rain for 50.
The competition was fierce. However, one contestant stood out.
You're not jumping around or moving, you're just Rem.
Competitors struggled, but to no avail. Kim Bo-mi just couldn't get her foot in the door.
Please, orange. Oh,
Number 3. Correct.
Oh my gosh.
Who is this rider?
Jung Soo-jin rounded out the group safe.
Whoever gets the origin question right moves on to compete next week.
Now the last spot would be determined after round 3.
Sunil, you're in the lead. You are moving on to compete in week 2.
6 made it through week 1. Today, they continue their journey. Week 2 starts now.
The 6 who survived the preliminaries. We introduce you to today's contenders.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Contenders. I'm Min-jung Kim.
Yes, welcome to round 2 of Contenders. Get ready for an exciting show. My name is PJ Rogers.
6 contenders are with us today, and they're, of course, the ones who survived our quiz last week. So welcome. Kim-young, you said last week that your ultimate goal is to become the general manager of the hotel. And I can see you become the general manager right away with your stern kind of look.
Thank you.
But they're looking for a front office guest service agent, which is who needs to be a little friendly. Show me your friendliest smile.
Like this?
That's a little better. We have 2 challenges today. We have the debate and the presentation. Which do you feel more comfortable with?
I would say presentation, because when I was in college, I did presentation like every day. So I'm a little confident in that area.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Hyuk-young, speaking of smiles, you always have a smile on your face. In fact, during the quizzes, you were just all smiles. Whether you got it wrong or right, you were all smiles. Is that who you are? Is that who we should expect to see? Is this smiley person?
Yes, most of the time.
Most of the time? How about in a debate? In a debate, you having to make sure other people understand your idea, and maybe it takes a little aggressiveness. Do you have that in you as well?
Yes, I do. I do have, but I'm not so sure if if I will have a full enough time to show full ability of myself. So I think it depends on the show.
All right, well, the biggest difference between last week and this week is that last week you really didn't have to impress anyone, maybe the buzzer. But this week you have to impress at least 4 people, and that's our judging panel, and here they are. Professor Shin Sang-yeop at the School of Pan-Pacific International Studies at Kyunghee University and a member of Arirang TV Viewers Board of Commissioner. Welcome. Dr. Song Won-gun, the director of the Korea Economic Research Institute. Ms. Lee Dong-ju, the director of Human Resources at JW Marriott Seoul. Last but not least, Ms. Kim Yana, the front office manager at JW Marriott Seoul. Welcome.
Professor Shin, I think it's only fair because our contenders are here to debate each other on a unique topic. They need to know what y'all are going to be looking at. What are the judges going to be considering in this debate?
Well, this is the team debate. So firstly, we will watch the teamwork. We will also evaluate you individually. For the individual evaluation, firstly, we will consider the coherence and the logics in your debate. And secondly, we will watch your initiatives in the debate. How efficiently control the flow of debate you will do. That will be the second point. And thirdly, we will watch the efficiency of delivery. That will be very important for you to get the to do a best performance in the competition. And lastly, we will watch the spontaneity and the flexibility in dealing with others' topic. Well, these are the points we will consider for the evaluation.
All right, before we start the debate, let's find out what the topic is for today. Take a look.
In the early 1990s, it was obligatory for our country's high-end hotels to have a Korean restaurant on their premises. Because it was mandatory, Western restaurants were closed up in place of those selling hanshik, or Korean food. That led to a great boom for hanshik. However, in the early 2000s, economic hardship led five-star hotels in Korea to start closing their Korean restaurants. Currently, there are only 4 high-end hotels with Korean restaurants out of the 17 in the country. Controversy arose on the issue of making Korean restaurants mandatory again. Korean restaurants in the nation's high-end hotels, should they or should they not be made compulsory?
PJ, come to think of it, there aren't that many hotels in Korea that have Korean food restaurants, and the debate is whether or not it should be mandatory for these hotels to have Korean food restaurants. So contenders, try to keep in mind that you'll be judged by our judges on your performance, and you'll be ranked from 1st to 6th place according to your performance. And it is in that order that you will get to choose your presentation topics. And to make things a little more interesting, we've added what's called immunity. And the winner of the debate will win immunity. And of course, the immunity holder will be exempt from elimination today. So just a little more incentive to get your claws out. All right, PJ, fire away.
Yes, this is an interesting topic. It'll bring out the nationalistic side, I think, of both sides, of the con side as well as the pro side of this topic. First, we'll have opening statements by each, and the debate will begin. First, we'll have Kun Myung, if you will give us our opening statement.
Thank you, PJ. First of all, I would like to remind all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that hotels, too, are business whose main goal is making profit. And the viability and the competitiveness of Korean food raises on questions for the few decades about whether Korean hotels can benefit from Korean restaurants. As we all know, almost of super deluxe hotels have stopped having Korean restaurants because profitability of Korean food is relatively low. I believe it is the government's job to endorse Korean culture, including Korean food. But however, I think government should not meddle one's business unless it's illegal. Therefore, I believe the government must not force hotels to have Korean restaurants. Thank you.
Okay, pro side, you've heard that. So-yeon, if you will give us our opening statements.
All right, first of all, hi everyone. I'd like to say I'm glad to represent our team's opinion. Let me begin with a story told by Kim Ji-eun, who is the famous food stylist in Korea. A Japanese famous journalist who stayed at premium hotel, which referring 5-star hotels in Korea. Once he asked this question, where can I try the finest samhap which was seen in Daejanggeum? What is your answer? My point is, there aren't many options to offer for the people who are willing to pay to appreciate Korea's authentic or sophisticated food. The reality is, out of 19 Korean premium hotels, there are only 4 hotels have Korean restaurants. Take the consideration, developing and sophisticating Korean cuisine will be our responsibility, and to make that happen, our group believes that all premium hotels in Korea should have Korean restaurants as a legal liability.
Okay, well, I think she overlooked a little bit of your the business side of it. and just looks at the responsibility that they have. And so let the debate begin.
According to the press release, such as Korea Herald, the Korean restaurant has low turnover ratio, and also only few people come looking for the Korean restaurant in 5-star hotels. Moreover, not only the labor cost and the cost of ingredients are expensive, and the cooking process is more complicated and picky. That is why many hotels have been in deficit for the long term, and finally they scrapped the Korean restaurants. Because Korea, the hotel is also one of the cooperation which pursue the profit.
Okay, I searched some statistics and I found that we have 4 Korean high-end hotels, and I will mention 2. Okay, so one of that hotel has more than 100 visitors for a day, and the other hotel has also around 100. So that proves that still some people really wanted to try special and also royal Korean cuisine. And I think that shows the possibility of Korean food in the industry of restaurants. So that's the point. And also, when the government intervene, they will support, like, I heard like 1990s, they had a law, the legal obligation for the hotels, the 5-star hotels must have Korean restaurant. And that time, many Japanese and other visitors really had a great time in the restaurants. So there was one time the Korean restaurants are trendy, and I think the time will come back. Thanks.
Yeah, I just want to talk about something. This is a matter of placing luxury Korean hotel in Korean restaurant has to be mandatory or not. So I just want to talk about price. The price is very important. Who's gonna put capital? Who's gonna put all the investment? Hotels have to do. I agree with the Soyeon's the specialty menu and the Hyung's popularity of restaurant, that kind of stuff. But the hotels taking a risk. Once they have invest and then put the capital, they are in charge of that restaurant. So government shouldn't do this and do that. Making a law is okay, but the little bit of push of the government, that's going to be stressful in hotel side.
We can look at the other countries' case, like Japan and Singapore and Italy, of course, and even Canada. Like the common ground of those countries' success keyword was the cooperation between government and the private enterprises.
Well, I think the main topic of this matter debating could be a profitability. I think unlike your ideas, I mean, lots of foreigners also they prefer. I mean, they also want to experience the unique culture of the Korean food. I mean, or the unique culture of the nations they visited. And so, the most important stakeholder of this debating is hotel. So, for that reason, so their preference for Korean food that could be a very beneficial for hotel economically. I think we are kind of running behind our Korean culture food is kind of running behind economically compared to any other Asian country like Japan or China or even Thailand, because as all of you guys know, Japan is also famous for sushi, and needless to say, China is also has also amazing culture food, but we it's kind of pity, but we don't have that kind of great, I think, culture food. So because of that reason, we got to develop our Korean culture food, and for the last reason, and the person who usually stays in 5-star hotel, they are usually celebrity or a businessman, and their presence is served and could be a great impact, great promoting impact for our nations. So there are lots of great economic effect for our nation and for even our society. So there should be a Korean restaurant in 5-star hotel, I think.
I think you just said that we should develop Korean food, but it takes a lot of time to develop Korean food. Once you realize or force hotels to have Korean hotels, that means you want to make it happen quickly. But I think we should give them more time and make hotels to decide whether or not have Korean restaurants. So I think you should not force hotels.
Yeah, we are getting. To answer your question, lots of people. Korean Wave is only made by any private enterprise or company, but I don't think so because there is a support from government behind that. So getting support from government, and we can also easily develop our Korean culture food, and it could be a great economic effect for our society.
So if the government comes in, his side is the pro side is if the government comes in and helps enough, will that be okay? Will that make it enough reason to then make the law if they add that support? That's his point.
Yeah, I agree with your points, the unique restaurant experience in Korea. But I want to talk about disadvantage also, because having Korean restaurant in luxury hotel is a huge disadvantage. It can be disadvantage because of surrounding local Korean restaurant nearby hotels, because they have popular rating and they're usually family-run business, and then they have a reputation from 5 years, 10 years, and then who's gonna pay for premium, expensive Korean restaurant in hotel while they are in Korea? They're gonna go venture, they're gonna go outside, and then they're gonna experience a unique experience in other Korean restaurant.
For the competition, there's always a risk. It is a basic thing for any of businesses. For example, if you have to worry about competition with other Korean restaurants outside of hotel, you have to develop your own menu. You have to re-systemize your order or menus or even venues. So through those processes, our Korean cuisine can develop domestically and globally. So that's what we are trying to look at.
I'd like to mention about Adam Smith, the theory of economic. So here we have invisible hand. The invisible hand will control the market, and the market will be controlled by also demand and supply. And here we have some demands for Korean restaurants. But as you mentioned, the hotels will have hard time to take the risk. And they said sometimes the market cannot be controlled by invisible hand, because even though we have demand and supply, the supplier, the hotels may have a hard time to do that. So this time, the government should intervene the market to be more active and to be more active.
The government will intervene and they're going to help the supply. But what about the demand? When you go to the foreign countries, there are lots of Japanese restaurants and Chinese restaurants, as you mentioned, but there are only few Korean restaurants because only Korean people want to find Korean food. So Korean restaurants' main target market is Korean. So when we look at the hotels, there are only few people. You said people are finding Korean food, some kind of cuisine, but there are only few people. How are you going to handle the profit? Hotels will have no choice but to face deficiency in their budget.
Okay, so that's our big. Oh, sorry, PJ.
You know what? I'm gonna kind of wrap up here, but you get to give the closing statements for your side, and so we'll let you close. So what we have here is we have the economic side that's been pushed, that the invisible hand does need to control it, and then we have quoted Adam Smith about the invisible hand that sometimes it's not necessary, but they do have a responsibility to help promote the Korean food. And so we will have the closing statements. And since you're ready to talk, Hyo-kyung, we'll let you give your closing statements for the pro side.
Okay, so thank you for listening first. And I'd like to answer for this big question, because the hotels and the government, our nation has a big problem with a big question about this. And I think we need a solution, and the solution might come from the government intervention. That's our answer. And we focus on also economic profit. Of course, we cannot refuse that part. It's very important for the company. And also, and I think the profit also can come from the tourists, the visitors. Even though we have only few people who like to try Korean food, just for now, we have future demand. Okay, and I think the industry might expect and be prepared for the future. Okay.
Okay, and the closing side, Sujin, if you can wrap up the con side, please.
First of all, it should not be the obligation by the government to operate the Korean restaurants in 5-star hotels. I believe that it is crucial to study on raise the Korean restaurants' competitiveness in the hotel industry rather than the government intervention or regulation. If we are going to lead the voluntary participation of Korean restaurants in 5-star hotels, it can let everybody knows Korean food as well as Korean cultures. So once more, it should not be an obligation to operating a Korean restaurants in 5-star hotels. Thank you.
All right, let's give our contenders a big round of applause. PJ, I think we can go on forever.
I think
on
they
this.
can. Once again, you get the nationalistic side of Koreans, man. That yeoljeong, that passion comes out in Koreans for sure.
Well, we'll let the judges deliberate and we'll reveal the ranking shortly. Don't go away.
나한테 전달하는 게 도대체 뭘까라는 생각을 잠깐 주셨던 것 같고
전혀 임프레시브하지 않았어요.
저는 준비가 안 된 상태에서 의견을 개진하려고 하는 부분도 좀 느껴졌었고요.
I think our team is the best to do the debate.
I think it went kind of well because I said what I want to say. I got confident.
It was too short to show everything I've prepared.
I'm trying to do my best, and I pretty much enjoyed this show.
I accept any result or any grade that is given to me. I'm still okay.
After thorough deliberation, the judges have made their decisions and the results are in. Sanil, do you have any idea where you stand in the ranking?
Probably middle.
Middle, so
Yeah,
not
I
so
guess.
confident, but not so.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Soo-yeon,
Yes.
do you think in the debate, was that who you are? Is that your personality? You were more aggressive than probably most. Is that who you are, or what would you say?
If I have to, I can be anything. Maybe a part of myself is maybe aggressive if I have to.
Passive aggressive.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll reveal the ranking on the contenders' screen first. Let's take a look.
Wow. Hyo-kyung, you are ranked first. Why do you think they picked you first?
Because they like my debate.
Well, obviously, but why?
Yes.
Why would they have chosen you first over all of the other 5 contenders?
I think my effort was shown, I hope. And I think they already saw that. And also, I love my father. I pray to him a lot. And I think my wish is just accomplished here. And I'm really thankful for the judges and for my friends here.
Well, you haven't won the entire competition yet, so hold your horses there. We'll hear from the judges why they put Hyo-kyung in the first place.
First of all, thank you for your active participation. You guys did a great job, everyone actually. The main focus area that we were looking for was way of dealing with others in terms of accepting others' opinion and sharing their ideas and then presenting my ideas to others. So at the end, I become to convince others into my side. For that part, Hyo-kyung did a great job. We were able to feel her confidence, the level of confidence as a full at the end. So congratulations, Hyo-kyung.
Thank you so much.
All right. The debate round gave us a chance to see your sense of your logical reasoning. In the presentation round, we'll see their creativity. Let's get started. The Presentations will be given by 3 groups of 2, and the 2 contenders with the same keyword will be in the same team. And the keywords are ocean, mountain, and glacier.
There are 3 keywords related to today's presentation topic. Ha Hyo-kyung ranked first and chooses first. Mountain. Second place, Chang Keun-myung, ocean. Third, Kim Jong-gan, ocean. Fourth place, Park So-yeon, mountain. Fifth and sixth place automatically get the keyword, glacier. And the topic is, build a unique hotel based on the distinct features of your environment. Contenders have 30 minutes to prepare. There was no time to waste. Presentation prep time.
목적이 있어서 저녁 파티. 바다 근처에 사람을 그렇게 모을 수가 있을까요?
Three teams and 3 presentations. Are they ready?
We gave our contenders 30 minutes to prepare for their presentations, and now they're back. I hope you're able to think outside the box. Team Ocean, both of you have blue ties on. I hope that's the signal of good luck. All right, you're up first. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to sleep with the fishes? I'm not threatening you, but there's a life under the sea that you're missing out. There are so many things you can enjoy while you're traveling, and I want to introduce our hotel. Next slide, please. This is a submarine hotel. Then you can travel one place to another while you can enjoy all the features of the sea. It goes below the sea and it goes above the sea level. And our target market is tourists who want to have a special experience while traveling one point to another. So there's our target market, and our concept is life in the ocean. You can actually be the mermaid and the merman as just like you dreamed of and when you were a child. So I would like to introduce this hotel, and I think this is very attractive because this is not usual thing. So, Mr. Kim, if you will explain all the beautiful features that our hotels have, please.
Okay, thank you. Since our concept is under the sea, and the appearance of our hotel is submarine, and so it can go under the sea, and it can also float over the sea, and we're also gonna prepare some bar and casino. We're gonna that kind of equipment so that our customer can enjoy their life in the hotel under the sea. And secondly, software. And as a software, we're gonna also prepare some kind of fishing equipment so our customer can catch the fish, and after they catching the fish, they also had some good food from what they caught. And also, there's another service software is also tanning service. So after when our submarine is flowing over the surface of the ocean, they can enjoy the tanning. So, and for the last thing, our concept is under the sea. So there is the main service and main software of our service is an aquarium. They can enjoy they can sleep with it's like a kind of sleep with the kind of fish or any other fishes under the sea. So for this kind of software hardwares, and so you can easily experience kind of unique life under the sea. So come to our hotel. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Ocean. I just came back from Jeju Island, and they just made me want to go back to the ocean. But I don't know if their presentation skill was all that good. What do you think, judges?
Thank you for your great presentation. It not be easy to be a first presenter. I actually have a question regarding target audience. You mentioned that your target audience is tourists, but it sounds pretty broad to me. Could you be more specific?
Says tourists who want to have special experience, for example, who want to have an adventure or who want to see a lot of things that the other people didn't see. So that's our target market.
I also want to add some. Also our target could be not only for kind of just kind of sightseeing, not only for the people who do want to sightseeing, but also kind of businessmen who are going from Asia to also North America or in Latin America also. It's kind of Pacific Ocean, so it's kind of big. So it could be the businessmen also can be our target.
Okay, great. Whenever you do the presentation in any situation, think about the target audience would be very important because the concept seems very interesting to me, but the presentation maybe kind of a little bit serious. So that's why I was kind of asking you who was your target audience.
Okay, that's it.
But beside of that, it was good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Considering these features, why do you need to build the submarine hotel? You could build a hotel nearby ocean. You could have an aquarium. Well, you don't need to build the submarine hotel. Can you explain it about that?
Our concept is the hotel doesn't stay on one spot, but it goes one place to another. So, for example, if I want to travel here to, let's say I want to go to the Philippines, but it takes 5 hours of flight with nothing on it. But instead, it will take like a week, but I will have a wonderful time in a submarine. So I say traveling time will be my entertaining time. So that's our target.
And also, the very first time we heard about the topic, unlike any other hotels over the ground, and also we thought we had to create some kind of unique hotel concept of as we said, a submarine. It could be a unique concept of hotel. So we made this kind of concept for our hotel.
Okay, I do have one comment and one question. Looking at the hardware and software, I think hardware is focusing on the business travelers, the bars and casinos, and the software is more focusing on the family, right? If you make one promotion for the family traveling with the kids, what kind of promotion would you offer?
It's like being a mermaid or merman. So we're just focusing on all the animations that kids like mermaid or pororo, something like that. And we're gonna have the kind of image, and that will attract all these kids. Also, we have fishing, and we cook fish they catch. So it directly targets the fathers of the family.
All right, thank you, judges, for the sharp questions, and thank you, contenders. Let's give the gentleman a big hand. All right, Team Mountain, you're up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And our topic here is, our motto is live alive. So it's our motto. And our keywords is mountain. So our hotel will be located on the mountain. And our target customers will be family or social groups. So who we would like to invite and welcome, who like to build their relationship stronger. And our concept is well-being, family union, exciting leisure.
Followed by her, I'm going to explain about the hardwares and softwares we prepare, but I'm not going to go through everything because we have time limitation. So if I emphasize few hardwares that I could recommend, should be the theme rooms and suites and daycare center. If you imagine to travel by family group, it will be very difficult to satisfy all age groups. For example, if you have little kids, you will be worried about, if I go travel, I have to take care of my babies all day long. So to solve the problem, we arranged the daycare center. But the special thing about daycare center will be like a theme roomed, like because the children also have a right to enjoy the trips too. So we made the childcare room special as fairy tales, like a Sleeping Beauty's room or Cinderella or anything kids would like to go. So we solved the problem about the worrying about the kids, and followed by the hardware, software. Like other hotels, we provide spa service also, but also interesting is all-terrain vehicles. Since our hotel is located in the mountain, they want to do some exciting, like travel by terrain vehicles, and through that you can also do this activity, treasure hunting activity. This will target all people in family or any other social groups. So they could also, while they are traveling, while they're paying, and they also expect the free stuff. Like if you get any special note, it will be like a service with free champagne, or next time visit discounted coupon or anything, or even ingredients for the barbecue. So those are what we prepare, but basically we focused on enlarge many of potential age groups, including families, including children, to the old people who really care about their health. And also we try to remove any of worries, any of worries any of people will think about before they go for trips. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Some interesting ideas, but I'd be very surprised if there is not a hotel that already offer all those services. What do you think, judges?
Interesting presentation. Treasure-seeking activity. I'd like to know the venue for that.
Will be since our hotel will be located in the middle of forest mountain, so we will use the restricted area of forest. Hotel people will hide some papers like under the trees or even under the rock or anywhere, like it's like normal treasure hunting. So every time we will have a set date and time. So if you wanted to participate, you have to apply earlier in advance. Then everybody can join together at the same time. Any other customers from any other suites.
Assuming that you have many number of competitors around your hotel, what would be the key distinguishable service or the facility that your hotel has?
Definitely will be the activity, like using a vehicle, mountain bike and treasure hunts, and also the scenery. Many people are concerning about their health these days, so including maybe healthcare people like who are suffering from illness, they could go for travel, but with relaxed area, and like will be beneficial for health, like forest, the air, pigeon shade. Yeah, so we could plant some trees which are really good for health. So we could support those health well-being facts and also activity to to encourage any of possible potential customers.
You were given 30 minutes to prepare this presentation, which is not long enough to prepare a quality the presentation. But assuming that this is kind of a team presentation, I'm wondering what was the allocation of the role, because I mean Soyeon is kind of you keep answering my question and you were kind of dominating like 70% of the presentation. So how did you work together to prepare this presentation?
May I answer for that? Yeah, so yeah, first of all, when we walk along here, we already think about our hotels. We imagine the things we like to do in the mountain, because also we could be the customer for that. We could be the targets. So we think about that, and also we share some we share some services or hardwares we can provide to the customer. So we just shared. It's half, like 50% like that of each of our work, and mostly my work. Her work was focused on how we will explaining our concepts and the hardwares and the service. And my part was more on preparing the presentation and also outlining some concepts. Yeah, that was it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, judges. Thank you, contenders. Let's give our contenders another big round of applause. Last but not least, Team Glacier. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Eagle Lounge. As I mentioned just before, our hotel name is Eagle Lounge because our hotel is not just one building. We have 10 igloos, like Igloo Village, which is located in the Alps, middle of the Alps in Switzerland. And our slogan is an oasis of unexpected experience with fun. So, and then our target market is family. So from the baby to the elder people can enjoy their time. And each igloo has unique and special features to have unexpected moment for the customers. Now, Sunil, he will present about more details in our hotel.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my name is Sunil, and then I'm gonna introduce facilities and the special services. Okay, so Eagle Lounge, that's our hotel's name, and then facilities, I just want to simplify. Igloo Jacuzzi and Igloo Bar and Igloo Restaurant, and then Igloo Tour with SG Footprint. SG stands for Snow Giant. So we have a Snow Giant footprint, so customers can track and then they can follow the mysterious of things of the Snow Giant. And then if the family come to our hotel and then the kids are running around and they, oh, there's Snow Giant, and then, oh, I want to see the Snow Giant, and then that kind of stuff. So we emphasize facilities of a footprint. And then also we have a special services and Snow Giant wake-up call. So, ooh, please wake up. This kind of the Snow Giant voice. So they can wake up until, they wake up and they get out of the bed. So we're gonna give special features of a Snow Giant wake-up call. And then also Snow Giant shaped salmon. So when they check in and then go to their bed, and then they can see the salmon-shaped Snow Giant. Snow Giant shape, but that's salmon. So they can taste with, oh, this is salmon, but it looks like Snow Giant. Oh, interesting. So they will remember the Eagle Lounge Hotel. So please come and visit our Eagle Lounge Hotel. Thank you.
Thank you for the engaging presentation. And Sunil, I have to ask you, can you do that wake-up call again for us?
Oh,
what a unique sound. Judges, what do you think?
Okay, it seems like that you presented the presentation to the tourist or the potential customers who probably has a kind of possibility to go to your hotel. But assuming that I'm an investor, you need the money and I have the money, and I would like to find a place to invest my money and get a return. How would you convince me to invest my money to your hotel?
First of all, I'll convince you to visit and stay at least 2 days of our Eagle Hotel for free. So you're the investor. So first day, we're gonna give you all features you will never ever experience any other hotels. And then second, we'll have our special facilities so we can go tour, and then we can evaluate each other and then get the investor interesting. That's the only thing I can say.
Okay. Your hotel will be located in Switzerland, right? But but why do you want to build igloos in Eskimos places, or it's like Alaska or Siberia? But it's very strange to me because it's igloo in Switzerland.
So the strange. That's why people can have interesting. So, what's this? Why igloo in Switzerland? So they come to visit and then they can experience, and then yeah, we're gonna go for strange marketing.
Also, I would like to add one thing. To get how can I say? To come to our hotel, it's much better than in Alaska or in other places, because Switzerland it's in middle of the Europe, so we can how can I say? It's much easier than other places.
All right, thank you, judges. Thank you, contenders. Let's give our contenders a big hand. And Sunil, if you don't get this job, just in case you don't get this job, you should consider a career in voice acting too. You would be good. All right, 4 contenders who are moving on to week 3 to tackle our missions, and those 4 are 2 from the winning presentation team, 1 immunity holder, and the last person will be determined after the judges' thorough deliberation. We'll be back after the results.
재밌었던 것 같아요. 아이디어도 좋았고.
We actually put the first priority on the creativity.
They need to try harder, a little bit short of cooperation or the respecting others' opinion.
We didn't know what we wanted to say. I don't think the results was going to be good for us.
Best partner I've ever met entire my life.
It could not be unforgettable.
You're enjoying your super pass?
Yeah, both. Enjoying the time with you and with the super pass.
It's really helpful.
Even my ideas, don't forget.
No.
I have the result in my hands. The team whose name I call will move on to week 3. And the winning team is Team Glacier.
Mingjung, I have to ask, do you think it was the call that did it? Or do you think it was just the pure greatness of their presentation?
It was the snow giant.
It was the snow giant. Sunil, congratulations. You are moving on to week 3.
Oh, thank you.
How excited are you?
Yeah, I'm so excited right now. So I didn't expect to be, here at first of all, and then I made this far, and then thank you for giving me next chance.
Did it surprise you that your team won first?
Yeah, it surprised me.
Sujin, you're saying, oh yeah, I'm really surprised. Why is that?
Because in the first round, as debate, me and Sunil, we got the lowest grade. Mm-hmm. Then we thought just do our best to do the presentation, even whether we are going to the next next week or not. And I would like to say thanks to Sonia, especially the wake-up call, the snow giant.
All right, see, having great idea pays off.
Yes.
And Hyo-kyung, you have immunity, so regardless of the results, you are moving on to week 3. So congratulations. What are your thoughts right now?
I don't know. Everything is just in my mind, and I don't know what to say. I'm just thankful that
Anything you want to say to Soyeon, who might or might not be moving on to week 3 with you?
I'm so sure she will go with us.
Oh.
Yeah, she was so great. In my presentation, she was so great. I didn't, I couldn't add anything more on her ideas because her presentation was already perfect.
And for Jonggan, Keunmyeong, and Soyeon, for 2 of you, that means the journey will end here. Keunmyeong, what's going through your head right now?
I'm really confused right now because I might fail. I might fail, And I don't know, my mind is just empty, blank.
So Yun, I have to ask, being with the partner, did you pick the topic or did you pick the partner for this presentation?
Actually, both of them, actually, because before we worked in a team to prepare for the debate. So because we know each other more than anyone else. So I thought it will make the time more efficient. So her and also the mountain, because I like mountain climbing. Yeah.
And Jonggan, it's only fair that we also ask you, how are you feeling right now?
Well, just a few minutes ago, before the presentation and debating, I was so nervous. I was nerve-wracking, and so I was because of the reason I was nervous. I think I was kind of clumsy, but now after finishing this debating and presentation, I'm kind of calm and I'm very comfortable. Yeah.
All right, the judges have made their decisions. So judges, who is the last contender who will continue to compete in week 3?
Okay. It is Soyeon, congratulations.
That was quick.
That was quick. Normally we get a little explanation.
Exactly.
What have you. This is just bam.
Like a Band-Aid. You just have to do it in one swipe.
Soyeon?
Yes.
You seem a little surprised and relieved.
Yeah, I am. Because I didn't expect it, actually.
So you expected to be sent home?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was kind of preparing myself to say that it was a great experience. I've learned anything. Yeah.
Judges, maybe you can tell us why you decided to keep her.
The Team Mountain's presentation was as good as Team Glacier, but the Glacier's idea was more unique. That's why we picked this team as the winning team. And Soyeon's presentation was very, very good. And then, she is able to express her opinion very effectively. That's why the judges selected her as the last winner.
Kim 팀장님, I'd like to ask you something. What could the gentlemen do to improve their performance in the case that they apply for the position?
I think we already mentioned that after their presentation, they need to focus on having a target first. And if you want to build a hotel, that you want to have a target first, and what kind of service you want to offer in hardware and software-wise. That will make your presentation more organized.
Right. Keumyoung, any final words?
Yes, was glad to be here, and I had a great experience and made great friends here, and great partner. And it was my fault to actually made a good, impressive presentation. I take all the blame, and I would like to thank all of you to, give me this opportunity to participate as contenders. Thank you.
Jonggan, you know what? You are one interesting fella. You have a lot to offer. You have a lot, and I love you speak just regardless of good English, bad English, whatever it is, you just speak, and I love that about you. I appreciate that because the person listening, as a native speaker myself, I love for someone just to speak to me. Don't try to cover up anything, and that's what you do. And so I would like to compliment you. You do very well with that. So thank you both for being out here. I'd like to give them a big hand.
So we have the final 4, Hyokyung, Sunil, Soyeon, and Sujin. Congratulations, they'll be back for the missions next week, and this is the most interesting episode, if you will, so do tune in.
Yes, with the contenders from the very beginning of their missions to all the way to the end of their missions, they will be judged. The camera will be following them, so it will be very interesting to see how well they accomplish or if they accomplish their missions. So tuned with us next week.
Thank you for joining us, and be sure to tune in next week. Bye-bye.
Nothing is expectable, so I'll have to put maybe extra effort in that. I cannot wait for the mission.
I wanted to make it to the Final Four, but unfortunately,
This is the end of my journey. I'm very thankful for everyone to give me this opportunity.
I'll do my best for the next week. I would like to be the top of the contenders.
It was one of the most valuable experience in my life. I enjoyed the show and thank all of you guys.
Really excited about the next week mission. I made this far, so I'm gonna set up a new goal for JW.